Three scenarios that can lead to your gasoline Mercedes suddenly shutting off. So we're going to explore a couple of scenarios in this video that can lead to your gasoline engine Mercedes suddenly dying. And these three scenarios are going to be titled loss of fuel delivery, loss of spark, and other items that can cause your Mercedes to die. So the first item that the first area we're going to discuss is loss of fuel pressure, or loss of fuel supply, or loss of fuel. This involves the fuel pump dying. Now, we're going to assume that the car in question is a car that does not have a dirty gas tank. It hasn't been off the road for 5 or 6 years. It's been in regular use and it just dies. Dies at random. Maybe it restarts, maybe it doesn't. And so there are 2 or 3 items that can cause this problem. First of all, if it's a fuel pump failure, very oftentimes the fuel pump will actually give you a lot of warning before it dies and goes down. Why is this? Well, it's because fuel pump failures often are not immediate. They can occur when the car is on the road, and then the pump will start to get weak, and then the car will lose power. So I remember my old 280 SEL. One time I was in Sun City Center near Tampa driving, and the car just started falling flat on its face during acceleration. And this kept up for about a week, and then the fuel pump finally died. So sudden fuel pump death, again, is not very common. The most common scenario, though, is the fuel pump relay. And this thing will just fail suddenly, or it'll fail in the rain, or it'll fail and cause the car to die and restart immediately. And you're even at greater risk if you have a Kaler unit, KAE, or a Euro parts unit, URO. These items need to be monitored closely. It's a good idea to have a second-hand one or something that you buy on eBay in your glove box. Maybe it's a good idea to have 2 or 3 of these items that you've rebuilt or learned about, because sometimes the circuit boards inside them crack. It's just a good idea to have one with you, know where it is, and know how to change it. So on 107 cars, it's behind the glove box. On 126 cars, it's either inside the fuse box or in the firewall, the second firewall. On 201 and 124 cars, sometimes they use a mass relay. 90 and later cars use an MAS relay. It's silver behind the battery. A 123 series car will have it right in front of the fuse box under a little black plastic cover. But it is critical, absolutely critical, that you know where this relay is and what it can do to you. Now, we're going to go into ignition system failures. Ignition system failures are a little bit more tricky to diagnose, but with an ohm meter you should be okay. Now, there are 3 ways that ignition systems can fail and cause a car to stall suddenly. If you have an earlier ignition system that has points and a condenser, your condenser or your points closing can cause ignition system failure, but you will get some difficult running first. Now, with condenser failure, the car will usually die when it's hot and restart when it's cold, although that's not always the case. With systems that have transistorized ignition or systems that have one ballast resistor, the resistors can crack and break, particularly the blue banded ballast resistor. This should always be checked to make sure power is flowing through it. A third item that can fail is an ignition control unit. While early ignition control units such as transistorized ignition or early Hall effect sensor ignition dating from 76 and later on the V8 cars and 77 and later on 6-cylinder cars tend to be pretty reliable. When Mercedes got to the finned aluminum not finned aluminum, but small square aluminum EZLs with no exterior resistors, these were probably the low point of Mercedes ignition controls, because they did fail, particularly if you used platinum or high resistance plugs. That's why I say no resistor plugs, no resistor plug-ins. You've got to make sure you don't use those, because you'll wind up with this scenario. Now, One of the reasons that these systems can also fail is because of heat and vibration. So you want to make sure that they're tight, and you want to make sure that your engine is not getting super hot and your fan clutch isn't flinging heat in the direction of these things. They don't have heat sink paste on them, so their internals can get kind of hot. Now, if you have a problem with one, you can spray it down with some brake parts cleaner or some cold water on the outside, and if you cool it down right, then it might work again. Usually these were replaced with a little tiny Hall effect sensor pickup made by Huco or some other companies. These do have a shelf life too, and they can exhibit the same problems as the original ignition control unit. Another thing that can go wrong on 86 and later cars is a crankshaft position sensor failure. These crankshaft position sensors, when they get hot, they'll go wide open and you'll have no resistance or very high resistance. The resistance value should be about 600 to 1500 ohms. Once they cross the 1500 ohm threshold, they typically don't work very well. But usually when one goes bad, you'll see stupid values like 20,000 ohms, 200,000 ohms, something that just doesn't make any sense at all. You can diagnose these with an ohm meter, but it has to be done when the car is not running or starting. Do not mistake these for a fuel system issue, however. In looking at other scenarios that can occur, we should take into account some stuff that goes on in D-Jetronic cars. So now we're in segment 3, other stuff that could go wrong. The cable from the battery to the D-Jetronic control system, if you have a 280SE 4.5 or 3.5 car, can separate or break off. Do not let this happen. It will shut your engine down. Another thing that can happen is that the relay group inside the D-Jetronic control unit that operates the fuel pump can fail. This problem can be ascertained because you won't get any power to the activation terminal, which I think is terminal 15 on the fuel pump relay. The fuel pump relay is located on the bracket that holds the D-Jetronic controller in place. If you have a 108 or 109 or 111 car, or if you have a 116 or 107 series car, they're going to be an ice cube relay. On 116s, I think they're inside the fuse box. On 107s, they're just above the fuse box. And again, these are just basic ice cube relays. A third scenario that can really shut your Mercedes down without very much warning would be the occurrence of a sudden vacuum leak. So you want to make sure that, if your car stops running, you don't have something like a split intake boot or a bunch of bad injector seals, or if you have a D-Jetronic car, a broken map sensor hose, that either blows off or splits or cracks. So this isn't every scenario, but I hope you find these helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and keep your Mercedes in good running condition so that when something does go wrong, it can be pretty predictable and easy to pin down instead of having something stupid like a blown engine or a broken timing chain. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. And if you have a nice comment for us, leave it below. Or if you've experienced one of these before, let us know. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, and we will see you next time.
Cut.